For centuries, the Indian subcontinent stood as an economic colossus, a beacon of prosperity and ingenuity. Its wealth was legendary, attracting merchants and adventurers from the farthest corners of the globe. India was not merely a participant in global trade, it was a pivotal hub shaping the flows of commerce and influencing the destinies of empires. From the Roman Empire in the west to the Han dynasty in the east, the demand for Indian goods was insatiable. Spices, textiles, and precious stones flowed outwards from its ports, carried on the winds of the monsoon across the Indian Ocean. This vibrant trade generated immense wealth, enriching the subcontinent and cementing its position as a leading economic power. The Indian subcontinent was not a monolithic entity. It was a tapestry of kingdoms and empires, each contributing to its economic vibrancy. The Mughal Empire, in its heyday, was a shining example of this prosperity. Its rulers, patrons of art and architecture, presided over a period of unprecedented economic expansion. India's economic prowess stemmed from its diverse and highly sought-after products. Its fertile lands yielded bountiful harvests of spices, particularly pepper, which was more valuable than gold by weight in the ancient world. The subcontinent was also renowned for its exquisite textiles, from the finest muslin woven in Bengal to the vibrantly colored silks of the south. Indian artisans possessed unparalleled skills in crafting jewelry and decorative objects. They transformed gold, silver, and precious stones into exquisite pieces, coveted by royalty and elites across the globe. The fame of Indian craftsmanship spread far and wide, further fueling the demand for its products. This demand was met by a sophisticated network of trade routes, both overland and maritime. The Silk Road, traversing the heart of Asia, connected India to China and the Mediterranean. Seafaring merchants braved the monsoonal winds to reach the ports of Southeast Asia, East Africa, and the Arabian Peninsula. These trade routes were not merely conduits for goods, they were arteries carrying ideas, innovations, and cultural influences that enriched the world. For centuries, India and China were the world's economic powerhouses. Their combined GDP dwarfed that of Europe, shaping global trade patterns and influencing the course of history. However, the 18th century marked a turning point, the beginning of a seismic shift in global economic power. The arrival of European powers, initially as traders, marked the beginning of this transition. The Portuguese, Dutch, French, and British all vied for control of India's lucrative trade. The British East India Company, initially a trading enterprise, gradually expanded its influence, exploiting internal divisions and leveraging its military superiority. This period witnessed a gradual erosion of India's economic dominance. The British East India Company's policies, driven by mercantilism, favoured British interests. Indian industries, particularly textiles, faced stiff competition from cheaper British imports, leading to their decline. The wealth generated from India's resources was increasingly siphoned off to Britain, contributing to its industrial revolution, while simultaneously hindering India's own economic progress. By the mid-19th century, British colonialism had cast a long shadow over India's economy. The once thriving industries lay crippled, unable to compete with British industrial might. India, once a global economic leader, was reduced to a supplier of raw materials and a captive market for British manufactured goods. This economic subjugation had a profound and lasting impact on India's trajectory. The drain of wealth from India to Britain during the colonial period was immense, leaving the subcontinent impoverished. It stunted India's industrial growth and created a legacy of economic dependence that persisted even after independence. The Great Divergence, a term coined to describe this shift in global economic power, had reshaped the world order, placing Western Europe at the helm and leaving India grappling with the legacy of colonialism.